that we've got that's an interesting one, and I think that it's got, at the moment, it's got the most votes, is where does content marketing sit in the future of SEO? So Tina, do you want to go first on this one, or do you want to like take time to like sit and think, and I throw it to Craig first, or like who wants to grab this one first?
I can go, it's okay.
It's because you were staring at the monitor and you're like, what's highest voted? I need to prep for this now.
No, it's because I didn't take my glasses on stage and I was like, can I read that? But content, this is a really big one, I think. And I was actually thinking about content marketing's place in the previous question as well, from the perspective of know thy audience. And I think content marketing can be as good as your knowledge of your audience, not your idea. I mean, there's a difference also between your ideal audience, who you think your audience is, and who's actually coming to your website and purchasing or submitting sign-up forms, or whatever it is that you count as conversion. So I think it would be exciting to see with the new algorithm updates and how we're defining helpfulness and relevancy, how many more SEOs and companies would shift to maybe a slightly different model of content creation if we're going to end up straying away from the classical search volume, keyword difficulty model, doing keyword research and mapping content out, to more of a product-led SEO and content marketing, where we actually analyze our own data and get a first-hand knowledge of how users are interacting with our website, what it is that they're reading, what it is that they're interested in, and then based off of that, be creating content, and yes, following classic best practices within optimization, but relying on internal data. So I think better knowledge, to sum up, I think better knowledge of who your audience is in real life, and also relying on product-led content marketing are going to become more common in the future.
What she said.
I had a feeling that was coming. I like Tina's given a great example of where she thinks content marketing is in the future of SEO, and you're just going to go, yeah, what she said.
But I think, I'll give you a fun scenario, like something you just said there, understanding your audience. So I spoke at an SEO event in London with David Sace. Now, David's obviously very clean, corporate, quiet. Look, he's a good speaker, so he was up first. Yeah, he's the opposite of me. So the guy says, I want you to come and talk about black hat stuff, all the hacks, all the shit you're blowing up. And David was up first. The crowd loved David, and I'm like, I'm going to look like God here. Absolute God, getting in here with all the tricks and all the scams. And I started speaking, and I got the slides going and everything else, and the room emptied. And at that point I realised you've got to understand who's in that crowd. Now, the feedback was, the things that Craig was talking about, we had no idea what the hell he was talking about. It was obviously a younger, new to the industry, local meetup in London, who are all doing corporate work. So what I'm talking about was of no interest to those people. So they were instantly just like, see you later, we go to the bar, and I'm standing there laughing at my own jokes and all that stuff. So, so I think understanding your audience is one of the biggest things. Even as a speaker, I have to try and figure out who the hell am I talking to, what level do I go in at? Is it basic, intermediate, or advanced, or a mixture of all? And I think when it comes to content marketing, that's something you also have to consider. Who the hell is your audience? And we all have different audiences. Some guys focus on e-com, for example. Try and play to that audience, and your content marketing then should be tailored towards that. So Yeah.
Yeah.
I think to add to Craig's point, I think if we were to move in that direction and actually have data to back up oftentimes the assumptions we make in content marketing, that would solve some of those internal conversation, whether you are an in-house specialist or an external consultant. Oftentimes I've seen pushback on like, why should we create this one-on-one content around whatever, for example, financial topic, where actually we want to be a lot more granular with the stuff we're creating, but having that breakdown of how users are interacting and who they are, oftentimes is a reality check that the people don't want to have.
Yeah.
These are
reality
tough
check-
conversations.
Yeah, reality checks that people don't want to have are definitely top of the list.